For those of you who do not know, Kevin Durant and the Nets are struggling to win games this year. Now I know the last couple games they won. They beat the Grizzlies today. And, you know, Ben Simmons scored 22 points. And everybody was like, oh, Ben Simmons, he's back. They played the Grizzlies with no Ja Morant, no Desmond Bane. I mean, if you have Kyrie, KD, and Ben Simmons, and you're playing a team that doesn't have Ja Morant or Desmond Bane, I expect you to win. So that doesn't really impress me. But the Nets, I know this is kind of old, but this is after they came off a loss to the Kings in which they gave up 153 points, 80 points after the first half. That's just unacceptable. Everybody knows that the Nets, they don't play a look at defense. Ben Simmons has looked atrocious. Obviously, Kyrie's been going through his situation, which we can get into later as well. But this is definitely the start of the season has been a struggle for the Nets. And, you know, some reporters asked Durant, like, you know, just about the team and how he feels and where they're at. So this is what he says. Says, quote, look at our starting lineup. Emma Summer, Royce O'Neal, Joe Harris, Nick Claxton, and me. It's not disrespect, but what are you expecting from that group? Durant asked. You expect us to win because I'm out there. So if you're watching from that lens, you're expecting us to play well because number 7 is out there. This whole thing, he was out of pocket. He was out of line for everything he says. One of the reasons why I have respect for a guy like LeBron is LeBron has always took it upon himself to never disrespect, take shots, or downplay any of the teammates he's had his whole career. Even this year, you know, the first couple games when Russ was looking kind of bad, and, you know, reporters asking LeBron about Russ, he just kind of was like, yo, like, I can feel the energy is going towards let's bash Russ, let's talk about how bad Russ is, and I'm not really with that. I love Russ as a teammate, and, you know, we're going to strive and help to continue that he does better. Which, after he's coming off the bench, he's playing phenomenal basketball. I think real leadership is you never want to just out your teammates out like this. That just sends a message to them like, okay, you don't really have respect for me. You're the best player on the team. Like, if I'm the best player on the team, and I'm like, yo, that dude I'm playing with is trash. No matter what I do, everybody's going to look at me and say I'm trash. Not because I may not even be that bad, but because the best player on the team says I'm trash, everybody's going to think I'm trash. I mean, this is out of pocket. He started naming dudes by name. I'm like, what? He started, calling dudes out by the government. Edmund Sumner, Royce O'Neal, Joe Harris, Nick Claxton, and me. It's funny how he says it's not disrespect and then follows that up with the most disrespected line of all time. It's not disrespect, but what are you expecting from that group? Well, we expect y'all to not give up 153 points in a game? And Durant is like, oh, you're only expecting us to win because I'm playing. Well, yeah. Yeah, you're one of the best players in the world. Like, no matter who's playing, you should be able to pull out these wins, buddy. But I never believe in just completely outing your teammates like this. Like, if I'm a teammate of Kevin Durant, let's just call it what it is. He's basically calling him trash while I call him trash. Why would I want to play with this guy? He doesn't believe in me. Like, what about this statement says that Kevin Durant believes in his teammates? Kevin Durant has faith in his teammates. He doesn't. He basically said they're trash. And he's like, the only reason why y'all expecting us to win is because I'm out here. That's not a teammate I want to play for. Somebody who doesn't believe in me. Because if you believed in me, you would go up there and said, no, even with Kyrie and Ben Simmons not playing well, I still feel like we have a group that can play well and hold their end up in the Eastern Conference. Doing stuff like this only makes matters worse. And I know over the last couple games that they've been playing pretty straight, but I think long term, this is just a recipe for disaster. He said, when we're all playing like you know what, you know the person that they're going to look at. That's why I requested this trade. This is my thing with KD. Wants to run away from being the leader on the team. He doesn't want the responsibility of him being a leader and leading men into the battle, leading them as far as not as far as on court, because we know he's a leader on the court, but we're talking about vocally. I really think that if you're the best player on the team, you have to be the leader. It's impossible for you to be the best player on the team and not be the leader. Now you have situations when guys like the Warriors, Curry's obviously the best player, but you got Draymond there. But even still, like, even though Draymond is their anchor and he's what keeps them going, but we all know Draymond does boneheaded stuff. I mean, even this offseason, he freaking tried to take Jordan Poole's face off with a fist punch. Steph Curry is the leader of that team. Now Draymond, he's kind of like the let's go, like he's like the motivator. But Curry is the leader. Durant doesn't want that responsibility. He's in the same situation as Kawhi, where he's like, I just really want to hoop. Like, I don't really want to do all that chit chatting. Like, y'all go grab somebody for that. Y'all go get a coach for that. I'm just trying to hoop. Especially when you look at the team that he has right now, he has to lead, because who's gonna do it on his team? Kyrie? We already seen what Kyrie does when he's a leader on the team. It doesn't really work out that well. So it has to be Durant that's leading the guys. It has to be Durant that's, that enforcer that gets the guys going. And he doesn't really want that. At the end of the day, he just want to hoop. And I feel like if that's the case, why did you leave Golden State? Danny brings up the point that, I don't need to win a ring in Brooklyn to solidify my legacy. Well, if that's the case, why did you leave? Like, I don't understand. If you didn't feel like you had to be a leader, if you didn't feel like you needed to win a championship without Curry to solidify your legacy, why did you leave Golden State? Plus, in 2017, I believe, a reporter asked Durant the same question kind of this year, like, do you expect to be the leader of the team? And Durant blatantly said, like, I'm not the leader. Like, I'm not really good with being the leader. He did state how, like, I don't need to prove to y'all that I'm a leader. Like, I don't need to prove that to y'all. But my response is, well, yeah, you don't need to prove it to us, because you already told us you're not a leader back in 2017. You already said that you're not a leader. Durant, it just seems like he wants things the easiest way possible. Like, I don't want to lead. I don't really want to carry the load of a franchise. I just want to go hoop. And at the end of the day, that mentality is not going to work, especially on a team like this where he has to lead. And as a result, this team is standing at 8-9. They should be better. And they don't have a bad roster either. Like, their roster is not badly constructed by any means. But, when Ben Simmons is as bad as he's been playing, Kyrie's been out, Durant is obviously have to play with the squad. Like, you have to look at somebody for the fault. Now, they fired Steve Nash. They got him what he wanted. They fired Steve Nash. And now Durant is just like, I feel like Durant's honestly going to still end up requesting a trade, because at this point, it's no point of keeping him in Brooklyn.